The bigger the problem you solve, the more you can charge. But here's what really matters: the relationship between price and value. If customers see that the price matches the value, they don't overthink it. They decide faster. When price feels fair for the outcome, resistance disappears. That's when businesses take off. So don't just ask, how much should I charge? Ask, how big is the problem I'm solving? Nail price versus value, and growth follows.
Hi everyone. So before starting this reel, this video will be divided into two parts. Today I'll complete the first half of the animation, and in the second video I'll complete the second half. So let's begin. Let me show you my composition settings. As you can see, it's 1080 by 1920, 60 fps and 11 seconds. All the assets will be there in the description, so you'll be able to follow along with me. I've already brought in my audio or my voice line. I'll right click new. It's solid, and we need to make an off-white color, something like this. Now I'll simply rename this by pressing enter to BG and simply lock this. Simply click on your pen tool. Make sure that the fill is off and the stroke is on and set to black. Now we need to create a loop line. So first I'll click here. And now simply select this line and reduce this line width or stroke to 3. So now the line is done. I'll write this text now, problem and solve. So right click new, text, hit S to make this bigger. As you can see, I have selected the font Casira Regular type 1, and for the color you can just copy this code or this shade of green, and simply I'll just place one over here like this. As you can see, let me just bring this over here, and then simply hit Ctrl D to duplicate this layer and place it over here. And let's rename this to solve. Hit S to open scale properties and make this bigger. So we have got these two texts. Now need to write this: the bigger the problem you solve. So right click new, text, make the fill to black, hit S and make it bigger. And as you can see, this text is different font and these are different font. So I'll select this, and use the font Playfair Display Italic. Select this and drag this up till here. Now as the design is done, we need to animate it. So this whole animation will be done in 3 stages. First I'll design each scene, then animate each scene, and at the end I'll add the effects. As you can see, it's blurred and there's glow. Okay, so let's animate it. First, these two text, it is coming from out of the frame and then inside. So simply select these two texts, hit P for position, go ahead.
The bigger the problem you solve,
and again click on position, go to the start, simply bring this out like this. and then bring this out like this. Select these, F9, and then drag them towards the left.
The bigger the problem you solve, the bigger the problem you solve.
I'll select these two and drag it further for a smoother animation.
The bigger the problem you solve,
and now for this text. So the animation is slide up, as you can see, it's going up and it's also fading in. So this animation is easy and I have also shown in previous videos. Let me do it again. Animate first, I'll do the opacity, make this 0. Open the drop down of range selector 1, click on the offset, bring this over here and again click on offset where you want the animation to end and make it 100.
The bigger the problem you solve, the more.
Select this, F9, and make something like this. Head on to advanced, change the characters to words. Head on to add property and simply select position, and as you can see it has X coordinates and Y coordinates. You want the animation to rise from this area which is down, so I'll move the Y coordinate down and now you can see it's coming from down, but it's too much, so I'll just increase it a bit.
The problem you solve, the.
And now for the next part, which is this line, it's a simple stroke animation, as you can see over here. Simply select this line, add trim paths, open this up, click on the end, go ahead, again click on the end, go to the start and make this 0. Select this, F9, and do an animation like this.
The bigger the problem you solve.
Now for the next scene, as you can see the whole scene is going back, okay, like this. So what we need to do is right click, new, camera, hit OK, and then right click, new, and bring in a null object. Rename this to cam control. I'll recolor this to red and change the cam color control to pink. This way I have color coded my whole scene, as you can see. Let me recolor this PG, unlock this, recolor this to yellow, then lock this again. So the red signifies my first scene. The background will be consistent for all the scenes, so this is a unique color. The pink signifies the camera portion. Now I need to simply parent link the camera to cam control. So using my cam control, I'll control my camera for all the scenes. Simply hit P for position, go ahead and again hit P for position, and now simply click here and enable 3D everywhere except the background or BG. Simply go to the first frame and zoom this in, so it zooms out like this. Select this, F9, and give it a curve like this.
The bigger the problem you solve, the more you can charge.
We'll do the next scene. These transitions, these all effects we'll do at the end. So for the next scene, we need to set up the background first. Simply deselect this and select the background. Hit Ctrl Shift D. What this does is it cuts the layer and creates a new layer containing the same properties of the layer which you cut. Okay, and now simply just head on to layers, white solid 1 settings, change this to off black, then new. This is how you get your BG2. Let's bring this a bit forward.
But here's what
Cut this till here, bring this over here. Simply select all of this, hit Alt and right bracket to cut the scene. And now let's add the assets. First, this line. So select the pen tool again. This time under stroke we need to select linear gradient and create a wavy line. Create a wavy line like this. Remember to make your linear gradient look something like this. Make this green, bring this black over here. And add another and make it the same color, green. Stretch this, hit OK. Select this and change the color to purple because this is the second scene, so it will be easier for us to identify and bring them forward over here. Select this crumpled paper, hit R for rotation and rotate it like this, hit S, make it small, bring it in the center, make them 3D too. Then let's write the text, the more you can charge. Okay, right click, new text. And as you can see, there's some smoke too, so I'll just bring in the smoke effect and put it at the start over here of the second scene. Bring it here like this, hit S to make it cover the whole screen. Click on toggle switches mode, change the mode to screen to get something like this. And then let's start animating this scene. So as you can see, this just comes in slightly from outside the frame. Okay, as you can see over here, and then goes out, and then this comes. So first let's do this line. Select this, add trim paths, end keyframe. Again click on end keyframe, go to the start and make this 0. Select this, F9, drag this towards the left.
or you can charge. But here's what real.
Now for this text, simply I'll head on to this, copy the animator one and paste it over here, hit U. As you can see, the same animation is there, but you want it to come from the right. Make this position to 0 and instead move the X position to the right to get this animation.
You solve, the more you can charge. But here's solve, the more you can charge.
And then for this, I'll bring one of my presets, which is alphabet blink, and put it over here.
The more you can charge. But here's what really matters.
Bring this at the start.
The more you can charge. But here's what.
So creating this manually is also very simple. Let me show you what is there inside this. Again, just head on to animator and simply just again select opacity. Okay. After selecting opacity, make the opacity to 0 like we did, and then open the range selector like we did, and simply in the animation make this -100 at the start, and at the end make this 100. Okay, like this. And as you can see, you have to then head again to advanced and simply just head on to random, click the keyframe on random, go ahead and then again click keyframe on random and make this to 32. So it will be 0 to 32. Now what is happening? First we are selecting opacity, so as you can see it's fading in, and when we are selecting random, the characters are fading in randomly, not in sequence but randomly. I hope you understood this. You have to just practice it. You have to do a simple slide in. Okay, so to do that, first let's select these and bring them to the top. Now select all of this except this smoke and bring them a bit towards the right like this. Make sure everything is 3D. And then hit Ctrl D to duplicate the cam control. Hit U, delete the keyframes, and somewhere around here hit the position keyframe, go ahead, connect the cam control to cam control 2 and bring this in the center. Select this F9, drag this towards the left,
The more you can charge. But here's
and I'll bring this over here.
the bigger the problem you solve, the more you can charge. But here,
And then it continues going to the left and the next scene comes in. Again hit Ctrl D, connect the cam control 2 to 3, hit U over here and delete these keyframes. Simply click on position keyframe again, go ahead, this time drag this out, select this F9 and we want it slow to speed.
the more you can charge. But here's what really
And then after this goes out, but here is what really matters, and select this smoke, hit T for opacity, go ahead and make this 0.
can charge. But here's what really matters.
Select this F9,
But here's what really matters.
now for the text, but here is what really matters. So simply I'll just fast forward this section. Now just copy the animator 1, okay, from here and paste it on this. Now the top half there is no animation, but the bottom half it's only fading in. First what we need to do is delete this position, okay. Under offset, instead of 0, let's increase it so that when this comes in, only these two words fade in. So by putting my offset at 88%, what it really means is 88% of the text it will have no effect, and the rest 12%, which is this text or this word, it will have effect. Hence only these two words will fade in.
Charge. But here's what really matters.
And now again hit Ctrl D, copy this, hit U, delete. First let's bring this over here, click on the position keyframe, go ahead and bring this at the center like this. Select this F9, make this fast at the start and slower towards the end.
The more you can charge. But here's what really matters. bigger the problem you solve, the more you can charge. But here's what really matters.
I can simply open this up, hit U, drag this out so we can see the animation. So again hit Ctrl D, select this, parent link it, hit U, delete the keyframes, click on the position keyframe, go ahead and drag this up, select this F9 and then drag this towards the left.
The relationship between price and... But here's what really matters. The relationship between price...
Now select this, hit T, open opacity, go ahead, click on opacity again and make this 0. Select this F9, then drag this towards the left.
matters. The relationship between...
Now we'll write this text, the relationship between price and value. Okay, but first let's bring this background, or this dotted background. Bring this dotted grid over here, go to effects and presets and search for keyer and simply select linear color key and put it on this. Select this color picker tool and select the black area, and we don't want this whole thing, so select this rectangle tool and first let's change this color to orange, as this is our next scene, and only select this part and feather this. Select this, hit T for opacity, go ahead and again hit opacity keyframe, go to the start and make this 0. Select this F9. I want to match the timing of the text, so I'll hit U over here, and as you can see it aligns perfectly towards the left.
Relationship between price matters. The relationship between...
Now let's write the text, relationship between price and value. So as you can see, this animation, this going up animation, okay, it's same, nothing of a major difference. So what I'll do is I'll fast forward this section of this text because we have done this in the past 3 scenes. Now simply select this pen tool, make sure the stroke is a solid color and select this same color, hit OK, click here and then click here to create a line. Let's change this color to orange, bring this down, select this parent link with this text and somewhere around here select this line, hit add trim paths, make this 0, click on end, go ahead and make this 100, select this F9, drag this towards the left.
Relationship between price and value. If
It's too close to the text, so I'll simply hit P, bring this down a bit, and then as you can see this too moves in, okay, and it's swinging back and forth as you can see over here. We'll do that too. Before that, let's bring in this asset, change it to orange.
The relationship between price and...
So when it says price and value, it will go back, the scene will go back. As you can see over here, relationship between when it says price, it suddenly zooms back, okay.
The relationship between price...
First we need to make this swing, so I'll simply select the puppet position tool, click here and here, then here. Now you can see this is moving, so simply just head on to mesh, deform, puppet pin 2, hit U on this, bring all of the keyframes over here. We only need puppet pin 2, so I'll go ahead. Move this towards the left, then again go a bit ahead, move this towards the right. Now simply copy these two, paste it like this.
The relationship between price.
It's too fast, so select all of them, hold Alt and drag it. I need to simply bring this in smoothly by fading it in. So hit U on this, hit U on this, copy the position of the opacity and paste it over here, so you get this animation.
Matters. The relationship between price and value. If customers see that
Just around here we need to send this back. What we need to do is, now after the last keyframe of cam control 5, just go ahead a few keyframes, okay, and just zoom this out like this.
Between price and value. If between price and value. If customer
And just go ahead more keyframes and slowly zoom this out like this. Right click, keyframe interpolation, make this linear.
Between price and value. If
Make this further apart.
Between price and value. If customers
Okay.
Relationship between price and value.
Then this scene comes in. The customer sees that the price matches the value. Again, the same text animation is there. So first, let's bring this. Simply, I'll just copy this from the previous, which is this. Copy it and paste it on top. Bring this over here, change this color, let's make this green, this too. Bring this over here. Put one over here, hit S, make it 3D first. Hit S, Control D and copy this, hit R, rotate this side, and for the animation you can see it simply comes in. So select this, Alt left bracket, make this green, hit P, Shift R, click on position keyframe and Z rotation. Go ahead, again click on these, at the start I want them to be opposite side rotated, these two, and out of the frame like this, this two. Select all of them, F9,
customers see that the price matches the value.
it's too fast, so select this and drag this out.
If customers see that the price
need to select everything over here, hit Alt and right bracket, because the wording is starting somewhere around here.
The bigger the problem you solve, the more you can charge. But here's what really matters: the relationship between price and value. If customers see that the price matches the value.
This last animation is for you to do using all the animations which you have learned. Now, the most awaited part, which is the adding of effects. To add effects, the most common method is using an adjustment layer and adding your effects on that. So this way you can add effects to all your layers at once. Simply right click new, adjustment layer. Make sure it's not 3D, okay? And first you can add blur. So as I have BCC library downloaded, what I can do is add BCC lens blur. Most of you would not have it in your default After Effects, so I will tell you the alternate too, but let me use this. As you can see, what happens here is this is looking HD. Somewhere around here it becomes blurred and then again comes back in, okay, like this. A soft blur type of thing. You can do the same thing by using a normal blur. So what you can do is, I'll just disable this for now. You can simply search for Gaussian blur and bring this on top of over here. Click on the blurriness, go ahead, increase this, and then go ahead again and make this 0. So you get this. Rename this to blur. Now go to adjustment layer, another one, and let's rename this to invert and search for invert in the effects and presets. This everyone will have. What you can see over here, let me show you where the effect is used. Over here, as you can see, wait, just you saw over here how the invert animation has been used for the transition. So basically we need it over here just before the scene changes. Click on this blend with original, hit U, go ahead 1 frame, again click on this, go to the first frame and make this 100. So it will change in 1 frame. Then simply copy this, simply copy these 2 frames, go ahead 1 frame, paste it, go ahead 1 frame and then paste it. At the end, make this 100.
The more you can charge.
Now right click new, adjustment layer, rename this to impact, Alt and left bracket, and for this I already have an effect and preset. My preset is already saved, so I can just simply head on to animation presets and bring this in. You will not have this, so I'll just supply it to you in the asset folder. Bring this simply over here, hit U. Now the keyframes are already placed. What you need to do is, wherever you want this shake effect, you simply need to place the keyframes over there. For example, I don't want it over here, I want it here, okay? So what I'll do is copy this and paste all of these over here. Now you can see you can have the same effect over here too.
If customers see that the price,
okay, now let me delete this, as we want the effect here only. Now right click new, adjustment layer, and enter, rename this to center blur. For this I have my own blur, which is the spot blur, so I'll use that. You will not have that, but I'll tell you an alternative for it. So I'll search for spot blur or BCC center spot, not spot blur. Put it over here. As you can see, the edges over here, these are blurred, only the center is visible. Okay, to give this effect. Now the alternate, so I'll simply disable this. Again go to Gaussian blur and put this, increase the blurriness, and simply select this ellipse tool and double click on it, inverted, and then simply add the feathering. So this is the manual method of which you get this blur. You can see over here it's blurred. If you want, you can change the shape of the blur too to make it smaller, the diameter of the blur, and as you can see, you have got this. Now I'll simply delete this and use my original one. And for the last effect, right click and again adjustment layer, rename this to vignette, and simply search for the effect vignette and put it over here. Increase this, make the edges darker like this.
The bigger the problem you solve, the more you can charge. But here's what really matters: the relationship between price and value. If customers see that the price matches the value.
I hope this helped you to create something cool and smooth. If you like this video, then please show love by liking and subscribing, and I'll bring on the second part as soon as possible. See you in the next one.